This is probably as close as we're ever going to see when it comes to Ibanez making a Telecaster style of guitar, at least in 2025. I mean, I know that they made clones 40 or 50 years ago, but this is something different. This is the AZS2209H model. It's a prestige model made in Japan to the highest possible quality thresholds, and it's part of Ibanez's AZ lineup of guitars. Now, a Telecaster from Ibanez, yep, it doesn't really fit into their DNA. They're much more known for their AZ guitars, their Super Strats, their pointy instruments, their Explorers, Paul Gilbert, and so on and so on. But for me personally, a huge fan of the humble Telecaster, I always wanted Ibanez to make a guitar like this, and with the AZS, that's what they've done. Now, this is not a brand new guitar, it's been out for a couple of years, and I fear, unfortunately, that as of mid-2025, this beast is going to be discontinued. So grab one of these while you can if you want one. But what I'm going to do is document it for us today. I'll go through it in as much detail as possible, start by telling you about the specs and the features of this guitar, then I'll play it for you in as many different musical styles as I can possibly manage, and afterwards I'll give you some full and in-depth opinions about this instrument. Ibanez Germany lent it to me a few weeks ago. They gave it to me at the Ibanez Guitar Festival actually, and I've played it an awful lot since I've had it here, and I've got a lot to tell you about it as well. Timestamps to everything is going to be down there in the description and the comments if you'd like to move to the part of the video that you'd most like to see first. But let's kick it off with the specs, features, and all the info you need to know about the AZS2209. Now, the H in the model's name stands for the fact that we've got a hardtail bridge here. The 2209 is one of those complex Ibanez model naming conventions, and AZS, well, we've got their AZ, and S presumably stands for single cut. And as you can see, it really does look a bit like a Telecaster until you go into those minor details. Now, in terms of pricing, when these guitars first came out, you would have expected to pay around $2,000 or 2,000 euros for this. I found them slightly cheaper online, doing a bit of Googling recently, again because I think these guitars are very sadly being discontinued. So grab one now if you can. But I've seen one of these for 1,600 euros just Googling the other day. So you might find a price like that if you're looking for it. Now, of course, this being a Prestige, it comes with a really decent, snug-fitting Ibanez hard case as well. So that's a great thing to add some value for you too. But what about the guitar itself? Well, underneath this beautiful antique turquoise finish, we have an ash body on this guitar. It's kind of a bit Lake Placid bluey in terms of color, but a little bit deeper, a little bit darker, not quite as sparkly, but it is a beautiful, elegant aesthetic to have, and that kind of juxtaposes really well with the binding at the top of the body and the off-white scratch plate here too. And if I move us around to the back of the body, you can start to see those sort of modern touches. This being an Ibanez, we've got a deep tummy cut here, and we've got Ibanez's super all-access neck joint here that gives us great upper fret access too. There's also a forearm contour on the front of the body, so if you're used to your slab bodies on a traditional Fender Tele, this is going to be a very comfy playing experience in some respects, or at least a very more modern feeling and different playing experience. Now, looking at the front of the body, we have what seems to be a fairly standard Telecaster sort of affair, but you'll notice straight away we have a mini humbucker in the neck position, which is a pretty nice, different and cool thing to have. The pickups here are Seymour Duncan, so we can expect super high quality tones throughout. In the bridge position, we have the Telecaster-esque Alnico 2 Pro Custom single coil pickup, and in the neck here we have the Magic Touch Mini humbucker. Now, the bridge is a traditional Telecaster 3 saddle style affair. It's by Goto. It's their F1803 model that should provide us with great tuning stability and with great sustain on all of our notes too. Otherwise, we've got another cool touch here in form of this steel pickup plate, which Ibanez say has been designed exclusively for the AZ series, and they say it's a critical component that helps generate that quintessential twangy tone for which this style of guitar is known. We'll put that to the test in the playing part of this video. Now, the other part of the front of the body where things look decidedly weird compared to a standard Tele is the control plate here. Kind of looks like Salvador Dali designed one of his sort of melted looking control plates for this compared to the standard straight Fender control plate affair, although Ibanez would say that this is going to aid in playing ergonomics and ease of use. We've got your three-way switch here to move between the pickups, master volume control, master tone control, and a two-way switch here as well. This is Ibanez, so of course you get more than you would with Fender in terms of switching options. This is the alter switch, and we've got the Dynamix 5 switching system for a total of 5 different pickup sounds here. Now, when the alter switch is down and you're on the bridge pickup setting, you just get that bridge Tele single coil sound. Move to the middle and you get the two pickups wired in parallel, and that's just going to be one half of the neck humbucker, so it's going to be quacky in between Tele, almost stratty sort of tones in a way. And moving to the neck position, and we have that full fat neck mini humbucker. That doesn't change when we flick up the alter switch. We've still got that full fat neck mini humbucker. And moving to the middle position with the alter switch up, still the full fat neck mini humbucker, but now we bring in the parallel switched bridge pickup as well for some different in-between Tele sorts of tones. And going down to the bridge position with the alter switch up is kind of like when you're in the in-between mode on a standard Tele, because you've got the two pickups on in normal mode, but the neck pickup is split down to true single coil. So 5 different tones there, your traditional Tele tones plus plenty more. And well, I think you're probably going to find 1, 2, or maybe 3 different settings that suit you best, but we're going to hear all of those in detail in the playing part of the video. That's coming up in a second, and I'll always let you know with a little diagram which pickup and which alter switch setting we're on at any one moment in time. So that's the front of the body then. That's what we're playing with here. Let's go around to the back of the body one more time so you can see that antique turquoise finish again. String through body here, of course, and this nice modern 4-bolt bolt-on neck here going on as well. Let's move up to that neck then, and we have a roasted maple neck topped with a roasted maple fingerboard on the AZS2209. Now the roasted maple neck on this guitar has been given the S-Tech wood treatment that you get with certain Ibanez Prestige guitars, and what this is going to do is increase the wood's stability, durability, water resistance and tolerance to temperature changes. I'm not going to subject this guitar to any of that stuff during this video, of course, but rest assured this is an Ibanez Prestige. It's the highest quality that the brand make, and well, it should see you through no matter whether you're playing on a really hot summer festival stage in direct sunlight or whether you're playing in a damp, cold practice room in the dead of winter. You should have no problems with this neck whatsoever. Now in terms of neck profile, we have Ibanez's AZ Oval C here. That's kind of a modern C, really nice and slinky feeling it is too. Not too thick, not too thin. I think it's going to be really comfortable for 99.9% of players. Now on the fingerboard here, we have 22 jumbo stainless steel frets and abalone dot markers as well. Only the finest features on the Prestige guitars. The nut here is bone, but it's also what Ibanez call oil impregnated, which should help aid tuning stability even further. Now in terms of scale length here, we have a 25.5 inch or Fender approved scale length too, and in terms of fingerboard radius here, 305 millimeters, which is about 12 inches, which is going to be really nice and flat, but not super duper flat. And I think again, combining that with this modern C profile shape, it's going to be a neck that really feels nice and modern, but it's not going to put off more traditional players. And so again, we're melding this traditional DNA of a Telecaster in the body with this modern feeling playing Ibanez Prestige neck, and it's really the best of both worlds in those sorts of ways. Finally, up at the headstock, we have that traditional Ibanez Prestige headstock, and on the back we have 6-in-line Goto Magnum locking machine heads with height adjustable posts as well. All of this again to help aid in tuning stability, the pressure on the strings and so on, to make this the ultimate in terms of playing experience. So this is the Ibanez AZS2209H, and what we're going to do next is play it for you. Now my rig for today is going to be my Hughes & Kettner Black Spirit 200 amp head, along with a few of my favorite effects pedals to spice up the tones somewhat. And because this is a Telecaster style guitar in terms of its DNA, well, we'll start with some pristine cleans and we'll see if it can do some Tele twang along with a wide variety of other cleanish styles of music. And we'll gradually increase the gain until we're down in drop D tuning and trying some modern metal stuff. Because this is an AZ guitar after all, it should offer us the A to Z in terms of guitar tones. I'm looking forward to testing it out. Hope you are as well. Timestamps to everything down there if you'd like to move to anything you'd like to see. But let's play the AZS2209 now, and we'll speak in a bit more detail about it afterwards. Okay then, so that was the Ibanez AZS2209H, and I hope you enjoyed the playing, the riffs, and the tones. Please leave me a comment down there telling me what you think of this guitar though. Does it match up to a US-built Fender guitar? Is it something you could imagine buying over a genuine Fender or some other high-end T-style of instrument? Would love to hear your thoughts as usual, and let's get a bit of a discussion going down there as ever. But now it's time for me to tell you my thoughts and opinions about this specific guitar. I've had it on loan from Ibanez Germany for a few weeks now. Ibanez gave me this guitar at the Ibanez Guitar Festival at their headquarters in Gutenstetten in Germany, and it had actually been played by one of their artists during the festival part of that show. So it's also had a great setup before it came to me too. So that's also something to think about as well. Now, when I first got this guitar out of the case, and I do have to say the Ibanez fitted hard case is a really decent thing, really great snug fit for the guitar as well. So that's a really nice plus point too. Well, I love the looks of this instrument. I really like the antique turquoise finish. I love the binding on the top of the body. Goes really well with the scratch plate and the dark look of the roasted maple neck and fingerboard too. So I think this is a wonderful looking guitar. And I know some people are going to be thinking this is something like the ugly sister to the Telecaster, but for me, I think it looks great. And it actually reminds me very much of my number one guitar, my 2014 Fender Telecaster, my Mexican Tele. And there should be a picture coming up on screen right about now to show you those two guitars together so you can see how similar they are, at least on the face of it. And because the AZS2209 bears so many similarities to my favorite Fender, well, I had high expectations for this instrument straight away. But I do have to say, when I picked it up, I realized that this specific one is a tiny bit heavy for my tastes. Just a tiny little bit. Now, I normally like guitars to be under about 8 pounds or about 3.5 kilograms, and this specific one weighs 3.72 kilograms, which is about 8 pounds 3. So there's not that much in it, but I would love it if it was about 3.3, 3.2, or even 3 kilograms dead, about 7.5 to 8 pounds. That would be ideal for me. This guitar still balances really well. It's still super comfy, and at this weight, it's still considerably lighter than many great Les Pauls, but I do prefer my T-style instruments to be just a tad lighter than this one is. Not a biggie though, and I think you could find a lighter one if you shopped around a bit as well. But the next thing I did was look at the build quality of this guitar, and this being a Japan-made Ibanez Prestige, and for about $2,000 or euros at the earliest RRPs, you would expect flawlessness and perfection, and that's basically what you get with this guitar. Like I said, this one has been played live on stage and had proper use, so there are a couple of tiny nicks in it, so it doesn't look 100% perfect in that regard, but otherwise, in terms of the build quality, everything is absolutely flawless. Now, in terms of the neck, the action, the intonation, the setup, everything amazing straight from the off. These Goto tuners are fantastic and hold tune incredibly well. The oil impregnated bone nut seems to be doing a fantastic job as well, and down at the body, all of the electronics, all of that 5-way switching system and all that, the Goto bridge, it's all absolutely immaculate, as you would expect for an Ibanez Prestige at this price point. Next, I plugged the guitar in and started having a bit of a play, and well, this is a fantastic playing guitar too. It is like an extremely ergonomic, modern feeling Telecaster to play. So you've got these tummy cuts, the cutaways, the forearm contour on the front of the body, which just make it a joy to play and have strapped to you for longer periods of time. This satin roasted maple neck neck is super slinky and easy to get up and down. The jumbo stainless steel frets are a joy to play as well. I love the Goto hardware in the form of this 3-saddle bridge and these locking machine heads up here at the headstock, and it is an absolute dream to play, just as you would expect. If you're into your more traditional Telecasters, this is going to be a more modern feeling playing experience. It definitely doesn't fight you as much, very, very easy to play, and that might not be something you like, so try this guitar out before you buy it. But for me, this guitar plays like an absolute dream. And the other crucial thing to talk about, of course, is going to be the tones that this guitar and these Seymour Duncan pickups deliver. This is an AZ guitar, and it does indeed deliver us a true A to Z of guitar music tones. It's a wonderful guitar in terms of sounds, I have to say. And I was kind of wondering how these Seymour Duncan pickups would deliver in terms of traditional Tele. And it's not the twangiest Tele tones that you're going to get in the world out of this guitar, but it does twang with the best of them. I've played twangier guitars before, more vintage voiced Teles, but this one is a wonderful Tele type of instrument, and it does way more besides. On the clean tones, we were getting wonderful folk, pop and indie tones. When we turned on the drive tones with the Lightspeed and with my Marshall 1959 Super Lead, fantastic classic rock tones, fantastic indie and alternative rock tones too. Great biting top end from the bridge single coil, but never too much, never ice picky or shrill or anything like that. And the neck humbucker here is an absolute joy. It's thick and rich sounding, but tighter in terms of response than a more woolly sounding traditional full fat humbucker. This mini humbucker is a joy to play, and the two pickups together offer a smorgasbord of great tones too, from clean through to pretty crunchy as well. Now in higher gain settings, for hard rock, for punk rock, this is a wonderful guitar as well. The bridge single coil here is fantastic in terms of crispness and in terms of clarity. Flick across to the two pickups together or use the neck mini humbucker for endless sustain for leads, and it just works really well there too. And this guitar is great for metal as well. Now you'd probably want to go to a proper bridge humbucker if you were really focusing on metal, but you can do it absolutely authentically with this guitar. The Seymour Duncan here is superb in terms of the dynamics for metal. It's great for chugging and stuff like that. It doesn't have the massive low end of a humbucker, but it is super crisp and clear at all times. So this is a guitar that I would thoroughly recommend for every style of music. So if you're a session player, for example, and you require an instrument that's going to provide you with top tier tones for many different genres, or if you're someone who plays in, for example, a tribute or a covers band, and you require many different genres of music with one instrument across a 2 or 3 hour set, you're going to be able to cover all of that and more with the AZS2209. And that's without even really talking about the 5 different pickup selection options that you have here. I think they all sound great, but my 2 favorite tones on this guitar are going to be the bridge Tele style single coil, of course that's a given, and then having that bridge pickup in combination with the full fat neck humbucker as well. Those are both fantastic tones for all of the genres of music that I like to play. So this is a wonderful sounding guitar in every respect. So if you've been watching this video and you like the idea of the AZS2209, but you're wondering what else is going to be out there, well, there are a number of similar options that you could try. Now, the first thing that I would recommend in terms of competition to this guitar, well, I would go back to Fender. And for this sort of price point, new these days, you're going to be looking at something like the American Performer guitars, or maybe a used American Professional 2 or a used American Vintage 2. Many different options there in terms of finishes, in terms of pickup options, and so on and so on. But the closest feeling and playing to the AZS is going to be a used American Professional 2 guitars. Those are more traditional Tele guitars, but with modern feeling Fender necks, and they're great guitars if you can find a good one. Now, if you fancy something from Ibanez in a similar sort of vein, but maybe you like a vibrato bridge, you could go for the AZS2200, because that's very similar to this, but it has a trem too, and there's a Tom Quayle signature model as well, if you'd like to support him and go for his more exacting specifications. But if you're looking for other brands at around this sort of a price point to offer you a guitar profile and playing experience like this, well, you could do far, far worse than trying out a G&L Fullerton Deluxe. And if you want to spend a bit less, for about the $1,000 or slightly less price range, you can get a wonderful guitar by the likes of Fender. Their Player Series 2 Telecasters are really, really great guitars, again, if you can find a good one. Or you could try something like the Schecter Nick Johnston PT. He has a Strat style model model and a Teles style model, the PT, and those are both great modern playing and feeling instruments. And if you've got a lot less money to spend, well, there are many options out there from Squier classic vibe onwards, but this one's fresh in my mind, so I'll draw your attention to it now. I recently did a review and demo of the Jet JT350, which is a Telecaster style of guitar with a humbucking pickup in the neck, so very similar to this one as well, and that for 350 euros is a wonderful feeling and playing guitar too. At the end of the day though, if you're someone who's currently on the lookout for a premium quality Telecaster style of guitar that gives you modern feeling playing sensibilities too, then the AZS2209 should absolutely be at the top of your shortlist to try. This is a wonderful instrument in every way. I love it, and I'm really sad that Ibanez Germany are probably going to take it away from me again at the earliest possible opportunity. But everything about this guitar, apart from the weight of this specific one, is almost perfect for me. I love the way it looks, and I know that's going to be a divisive thing, but I love the way this guitar looks. I love the way it plays. I find the neck to be supremely comfortable along with the body. It's got fantastic hardware as well. It holds tune beautifully. It's probably one of the most stable guitars that I've ever had the fortune of playing. And these Seymour Duncan pickups sound fantastic for all of the genres of music that I would like to wring from this guitar as well. And in that respect, it's absolutely fantastic. In terms of the price that I would currently pay for one of these, about 1,600 euros, including the Ibanez hard case too, I actually think it's really decent value for money as well. And it's a superb competitor to anything else out there on the market. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there as usual, but I think that if you're in the market for something like this, try an AZS2209 before they're gone, because you'll regret it forever if you don't. But I hope that this video has answered any questions that you may have had about this guitar. If there's anything else you'd like to know, drop me a line down there in the comments and I shall do my best to answer you. And if you're still around, it would really make my day. It really would if you wanted to give this video a like, or maybe even sub to my little channel, because that really does help. But that's been it for today's video. I've been Rich, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.